Riots, 18 people dead.
We are human beings, and we want to be treated like human beings.
And then came the Mariel boat lift.
Good evening. Politicians from several states tonight are sharply criticizing President Carter's handling of the Cuban refugee problem.
They are called Marielitos. As they left Cuba, Castro called them escoria, which means scum.
Fidel Castro himself publicly stated, "I have flushed the toilets of Cuba on the United States." He bragged about it.
With one fell swoop, Castro rid Cuba of thousands and thousands of undesirables.
For all of the decent, hardworking refugees who came here to make new lives, there were also the deadliest, most ruthless criminals that had ever been unleashed on any country in the world.
There was a prison on the Isle of Pines that had 2,000 hardcore prisoners. 1 week later, there were only about 20 prisoners left in that prison. Where were the rest? They were walking on the streets of Miami.
Peace. So this is basically where it started. Every good story has a start, a beginning, and for me, this was my beginning right here at Citrus Grove. Now it's called Citrus Grove Middle School, but back in the day it used to be called Citrus Grove Junior High. Basically, it's like this. I was born in 1971, and for the first 8 years of my life, I spent it in Havana, Cuba. But my real birth came when I came to the school in 1983 to 84. This is where I became who I became. You know what I mean? Chili Willy, then Chill Ski, and so on and so forth. As a young cat, you know what I mean, like, when I was a shorty, like, I was like kind of like what they would call like introverted. Like I wouldn't, you know, I was a shy kid. I wouldn't talk much, stuff like that. Like basically I was into just like my drawing and stuff like that. I used to draw like freaking like animals, like specifically like lions and horses and stuff like that. And then when I came to the States, one of the first things that captivated me until this very day was Bruce Lee. And from then on, you know, I started drawing lions, horses, and Bruce Lee. That was like my main thing drawing. So, you know, I started doing my little thing, and I believe it was like the year, I want to say it was 1982, if I'm correct. I had heard like certain rap songs before, like Rapper's Delight and stuff like that. But, you know, even though I liked it, whatever, it really wasn't something that I was like really like heavy into it. At the time I was, you know, into like what every other kid was into, whatever pop music was going on, Michael Jackson, and, you know, rock music. I was really into Led Zeppelin and Iron Maiden and stuff like that. Until one day I heard a song called Planet Rock by Africa Bambaataa and Soul Sonic Force. And I heard this song basically, you know, without going too much in depth, that song basically transformed me and made me who I am to this day.
Just hit the phone and hit me. Just get on down and hit me. That bot just getting so funky now, hit me. Yeah, just hit me. It's time to chase your dreams about the seats, make your body sway, socialize. Let your soul.
So when I came to understand the deadly venom mentality and why we would get to a certain spot and we would first explore, analyze, pick a target, and then destroy. That's why this shirt says setting dance floors on fire, crushing egos, burning empires. This is one of our quotes, and it's a very powerful quote, and to me, this is what the Deadly Venom stands for.
Once again, so right now we're basically in the Alapata section of Miami. I'm right here with some of the members of the DFC crew, and actually my homeboy, old school homeboy Charlie, duo DFC. Also, he was down with my crew, JFK, and this is a brother I've been down with since we was like shorties and stuff. Like, you know, he used to dance with me, and he used to paint with me. So you know, it's actually like a real good honor for him to be right here helping us out with this little documentary. This fellas go back to like the mid to the early 80s of Miami, so they got a lot of history. You know, my man Sancho right there, Sal, you know, all these dudes, you know, they're part of this whole long, rich history that Miami has that unfortunately hasn't been told until like right now, you know. So you know, hey, yo, dude, you want to join me, B? Alright, there's my dude right here, man. You know, it's my man. He comes from, you know, my area, you know. This is the little Havana boys right here, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, Charlie, you know, when I was popping, you know, Charlie was breaking, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, we were those dudes that in Citrus Grove, we was throwing down, you know, non-stop, and every day, you know, whether it was in between classes, in the school halls, you know what I'm saying, outside of the school, you know, in the parking lots and the after-school jams, and then, you know, of course, in the spots like Video Powerhouse, the Beat Club, and Castle Park, you know what I mean? It was right there. So, you know, I want to give my man a little bit of time, you know what I mean? Because there's his shine right now, you know? Thank
you. How you doing? Like I said, my man Willie. My name is Duo One. I represent DFC crew and JFK. I've been painting and doing graph since '83, since I met Willie early in the '80s. And like he said, we used to break dance back in the days at school and be all up in the battles at Video Powerhouse and Castle Park, you know, and just been doing my thing ever since. I stopped for a brief moment in the early '90s, but because of him and Dash, I came back in 2013 to keep on doing my thing with the graph. We're here today with my crew, DFC. I got Sal up there, I got Wake on board, Sense, and a couple other guys in here, Jive and Clue. And we just representing on this wall right here and trying to get things busy.
Yeah, what's up? This is Almighty Chill Ski, Deadly Venoms, baby. Showing presence right here at the BC1 event. Deadly Venoms always got to represent, you know what I'm saying, hip-hop culture. So we're right here showing presence, and who knows, maybe later getting to something, baby. Anybody gets through, come at us. Peace. So I'm right here with the legend, the man, Tarzan in the place. You know what I'm saying? My man Speedy Legs, TDK, baby. You know what I'm saying? So basically, Speedy's seen, you know what I mean, everything, you know what I'm saying? From the early 80s to the present right now, you know what I mean? Like, this is my dude, and, you know, like, I pull his ear, and he pulls my ear all the time, because we're like, you know, always clashing heads, but that's my dude, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, there's a dude that I feel that he's basically responsible for bringing this whole thing that we do right back, you know what I'm saying? Speedy Lex is the one guy from all of us that used to do it in the 80s that never stopped, you know what I'm saying? When we all started getting GQ'd out or gangstered out, Speedy was still going to Club 35 and all the other clubs, you know, head spinning and with his track suits and stuff like that. So, You know, I always give him the utmost respect, you know what I'm saying? But he's also seen my crew from his resurgence, you know what I'm saying? And he, you know what I mean, he saw us when we were shorties, you know what I'm saying, at Graveland Park when he used to throw down with DJ Nice and Nasty and Flex and all of them, you know what I'm saying? So, oh man, here you go, sir. Speak a little bit.
Yeah, we've come a long way with a lot of the dance culture in Miami, Florida. I'm not mocking other cities or other states or parts from the world where they may have been other dancers. But as far as I know, living here and traveling, because I would travel to New York City all the time, and California, Los Angeles, Atlanta, Chicago. So I would travel around and I would see what was out there. And eventually, you know, one of the reasons that I decided to embark on the journey that I embarked on as far as dedicating my passion to the dance is because I loved it first. That was always the thing. I always looked forward into doing it, seeing what the next thing I could develop with my body. It was always a challenge between me and my body. And you know, that's what the whole dance thing was to me, about defying what was already done and creating, you know, this concept where we would have a place where we would meet and do it and exchange ideas and cultures and whatsoever. It fascinated me. Chilsky was one of the guys that I met, you know, re-met, because I mean, I had known them in the 80s when they were kids, but I had re-established my my connection with them in the early 90s, and the whole thing was about how to bring the dance back.
So my brother J.R. Rock and myself, basically we met, I want to say it was 2011, I believe, that we met at this jam called the Vitamin Water B-Boy Challenge. And I believe that I had seen him before, but I can't really remember.
Yes, at the Carlos, what is it?
Yeah, Carlos Carroga's thing. But not only that, his face, even though I cannot like pinpoint real well, I remember him from back in the days too. Like, he's an old school Miami b-boy like myself. So we met each other at this Vitamin Water b-boy challenge, and we started talking. We exchanged numbers and stuff like that, and we pretty much like clicked in instantaneously. You know what I'm saying? Like, just finding out that my brother over here does martial arts and stuff like that. That for myself was like, whoa, awesome, because, you know, I love martial arts. I respect pretty much all martial arts, but specifically, you know, the fact that he was also like a Bruce Lee fan himself. He did Jeet Kune Do, and also he had done MMA, and he was like a jiu-jitsu black belt. I was like, yo, this is my man right here. Like, I'm really digging this dude. Plus, he's a freaking b-boy like myself. So then we went to another jam that you had contacted me. I don't remember the name of that jam, but it was right there in the Polish American Club, and he hung out with us.
Oh, the who can roast like the most.
Yeah, who can roast the most. Yeah,
that's right, that's right.
And so we chilled right there, and I was like, yo, don't worry about it. you're not by yourself. You're with us. You know what I'm saying? This family.
That's right. Yeah.
And pretty much right there, just by myself talking with JR, it was like, yo, like there's like a brother, pretty much, that I had never met before. You know what I mean? It was like separated at birth, pretty much. You know what I mean? So we instantly clicked it, and I was like, yo, like the Venoms were primarily a popping crew, but you know, unbeknownst to a lot of heads, we've had our share of b-boys down with the crew before. You know, like we had Mendes, my boy Besa, you know, my man Fiend. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't officially a Venom, but he used to like roll around with us and stuff like that. And I was like, yo, you know what? Like, I want to make this man right here our official b-boy for our crew. You know what I mean?
I got a few of the certificates, but I'm going to show you one by one, but until. And the last one I'm going to show you is my biggest accomplishment, because right now nobody else can be able to get what I have anymore. Okay, this one was given to me to be able to teach jiu-jitsu under Colin Gracie. He's the son of Carlos Gracie. I got this in 1996. There was hardly any schools in this area, only 3. The third one was my school. This is a Muay Thai, which I trained for 110 hours. What is a Muay Thai? I got that in 1997. The next one, I messed up on the frame. I dropped it. This is from my first instructor as soon as I got out of the Marines. His name is Mike Lee Canarik. He's from, Israel. A crazy man, but he's good, man. He gave me his, certification in the 3, of the disciplines, and the Muay Thai Haganah, which is an Israeli knife system, and of course, in Jiu-Jitsu. And my biggest accomplishment right here, under like the man, Joe Louis. He trained with Bruce for over, I think it was like 2 to 3 years at his house. He was a private student of Bruce Lee, and all the footwork he's been showing, and all the movements and all the angles of attack, he got it from Bruce. And this is my biggest accomplishment. I got this June of 1997 in kickboxing, and unfortunately, Joe, he died a few years back. So
was his birthday yesterday?
Yes, it was his birthday yesterday. So this is like my biggest accomplishment out of all the things I've done right here.
Battle tactics, strategy. Being so young, I actually got kind of cocky about it. Prior to that, I was very insecure. I was a short, little skinny guy, trying to find myself, and was this whole dance. Since you could create your own type of character, I created my own image, and it actually played a real big role to this day. And we would go into these jams. Again, me being 14, the youngest, member, and feeling very cocky. I would go in there and battle these older guys in popping. And obviously at that age, you have no fear. You don't know what's wrong or right. So I would battle one guy feeling cocky that, I have this deadly venom inserted in me. I would challenge 3 poppers at the same time and try to battle them at the same time. And I mean, now that I think about it, I would grab hats and throw them on the floor, and I could have gotten, my ass whooped. Pardon my language, but at that age, I didn't really care. I had the venom inside of me, and that changed everything for me. My whole life changed. So that was one big event for me. Another thing is that I got a full-blown experience of what the brotherhood is when I was going through high school. Again, I was a small, short guy, and there was these poppers that would come to our school, Barbara Goldman, thinking that they were the best dancers. They would come and they would try to challenge people. So I had called Rick, Robo Rick, and I told him, hey, this guy came and he was looking for me to battle me. And him being an older brother of ours, he took it to the heart. You know, somebody coming to my school and trying to battle me. So there was a jam that came up. Him knowing that the same dude that came to look for me was there, he actually approached him. Rick approached this guy, grabbed him by his shirt, and he said, hey, you came looking for Gambit? Yeah? He grabbed him and threw him up in the air, and the guy went flying out. Once I heard about that, I'm like, yeah, I'm in a brotherhood / fraternity.
So I've been with the Venoms for about 17 years now, and when I started off with them, what I noticed first thing and foremost is when they would walk in, people would stop, right? The entire dance group would stop, and they would allow us, they would sort of break away to allow us into that area, because they knew what was about to happen, right? You got Chilsky, you got Seto, you got Kuba, all of them would go in and battle whoever, whenever, it did not matter. And so that experience to me was, you know what, these are the bad guys, right? These are the people that, you know what, they don't care. They're going in, taking names, does not matter who's coming at them. That's really what built me to be what I was from then on forward. You know, I've been to Orlando, Jacksonville, all around Florida, Central Florida, West Florida, and if you ask anybody out there, they know who Robo Rick is. Because I took that same mentality and I ran with it. And it created a name and a presence around Deadly Venoms, around the entirety of Florida.
Yeah, I met my brother Chilsky. Man, I met him through the Universal Zulu Nation. You know, one of Shaka Zulu's warriors. And, you know, it was the early 90s, mid-90s actually. You know what I'm saying? If it wasn't for Brother Rod J that brought me into this organization, I wouldn't be here who I am right now. Feel me? Big ups to Brother Rod J. Shout out to everybody there. But anyways, back to Deadly Venoms and Brother Chilsky, it was a beautiful thing because, you know, through the organization, he grew, you know what I'm saying, with all the elements, you know what I'm saying, with actually Deadly Venoms was originally for an MC group that was going to come out around that same era, you know, but then it became Poppy Crew, you know, and I remember the first battle, it was just them three, Seto, Kua, and Brother Chilsky, you know, and they used to always practice as well. It was at the beach, South Beach and 10th and Ocean Drive. You know, we also had our meetings back in those days, you know, where the brothers was like always practicing every Sunday religiously, you know, dealing with you know, also the Universal Zulu Nation. He was actually our second generation leader, you know what I'm saying? And like Zulu King Chilsky, there was no other, man. He kept it real, kept us in check, and you know, he kept growing with the rest of the second generation of Deadly Venoms, and you know, I guess look at that now. His teaching grew from 3 to almost 15, 17 members, you know what I'm saying? So like, he kept growing, you know what I'm saying? And everybody should learn from Deadly Venom as well. They keep dedicating themselves. They keep themselves as a family in unity, you know what I'm saying? So shout out to everybody, shout out to Deadly Venom, big ups for your 17th anniversary. Peace.
Empty your mind. Be formless, shapeless, like water, Be water, my friend.
One time for the boys shopping toys. It's Chico V in the place to be, and the place to be is with Chico V. It's going down like this. One time for the boys shopping toys. 305, stand up. You know, it's going down like this. I got a lot of secret things going down like this, but you know I gotta reveal something 'cause I got my dog, Mr. Warren, behind the camera, so it's like this. This is official. Starting very soon. We got the Chico V show coming up. Like, next couple of weeks, be ready. Chico V, my dog, Dang Dang from Exit 1, Dope Boy Records, you know what I'm saying? It's going down like that, official. One time for the boys shopping toys. So, you know, that's what's going on right there. But today it's like this official for my dogs, the Deadly Venoms, and my dog Chilsky. Big shout out, mad love to my dogs, you know what I'm saying? You can find the boys out there getting that down and doing their thing at Jam On It. Chico V, Jam On It on YouTube, you feel me? They are some of the actual dancers and the B-boys representing doing their thing. And actually the two people behind the camera was the ones who did that thing together, you know what I'm saying? Put it down like that. But it's like this, it's official. I don't give a damn, you know what I'm saying? I'm a B-boy, I'm a rapper, I represent all this. Hip-hop's an element, you know? It's about that 305 to the day I die, and it's like this. One time for the boys shopping toys. Yeah! What?
First met Brother Chilsky back in the day, 90s or so. We were Miami Chapter Zulu Nation. We did a lot of the events or a lot of the gatherings back at the old Power Studios. When Bambaataa would come down, and we had the B-boy set out there. We had everybody coming out, all the MCs coming out, so all the groups would go out. Our group, Underground Cypher, would mingle with all the other groups. Everybody would hook up, we exchange, we all get on different tracks, and it was a great expanding time for the hip-hop community here in Miami. So back in the day, the Deadly Venoms, that's Chill's thing, he was going to expand it into like a rap supergroup, right? So we looked at who we can all combine on to get some tracks going. So I know it was our group. It was me, Mad Styles, Jay, Raw J, Chilsky, his boy Leon, I think, or Levi, his boy Levi, and we were gonna get together and make a track happen. And the thing is that everybody had conflicting schedules back then, not getting together, because we would get together, we'd meet up at Robert Clemente Park, and we do our rehearsals, and we do our freestyle, and we do our thing out there. And everybody had their verses. So we were ready to roll, and just so happens that at the same time, everybody was working on multiple different things. Me and Reset were trying to do some tracks together. He was working on his double barrel thing. We were doing the Underground Cypher. We were trying to wrap up some tracks there. I was working on some solo things too. So everyone was recording something. And when it came time for us to record, that's where we all conflicted with, we all had something else to do. So it didn't come into fruition back then, but it's not like it's something that could ever be out of the picture. I think it'd be amazing if we all get together nowadays and get some going. But overall, what Deadly Venoms means to Miami and the hip hop scene, man, it brings culture itself. It has b-boying for a fact. You can't go anywhere and talk about breakdancing without knowing who Chilsky is. So big up Deadly Venoms. I want to say rest in peace to our brother Rich. Big part of the entire hip hop community from forever. Big part of the Underground Cypher team that we lost. And big up everyone. Ed Boogie, DJ De La, Mad Styles, the rest of the Underground Cypher family, Grand D, Raw J, the whole family, Peace out.
Yeah, so basically I met my brothers from Underground Cypher sometime in the mid-90s. We had started doing some functions, the Miami Chapter Zulu Nation, and I met those brothers through that. I met Silent, I met Q, I met Raw J, Reset, and all those guys during that time, and then they started coming to the meetings, and through that we did like a little exchange. Like I had been rapping at the time with my man Sub-Zero. I had a crew called Heavy Artillery, and we had did a couple of shows, and for whatever reason he went his way. He's actually a football coach right now, and I stayed basically solo, but I heard this guy's rhyme, and I was like totally in love with the lyrics. Like they're basically like an extension of what I was trying to do. So I wanted to do something with them, and I proposed to I can't remember if it was Jovan first, the one that I first talked to, Styles, or Reset. But somehow I mentioned to them that I wanted to do this little super crew, and I wanted to do it on the whole Deadly Venom tip. And it's funny because during that time also Wu-Tang had started coming out. So the first few people that I mentioned into it, they was like, oh, y'all biting from Wu-Tang or whatever. I was like, yo, nah, bro, because this is my thing, you know what I'm saying? I've always been a Kung Fu fanatic, and I just loved like the whole concept of like, if you've ever seen the Deadly Venom movie, it's like got this whole crazy plot to it and stuff. So I kind of wanted to do it that way, and also have like little chapters within that rap group, which never truly materialized, but that was like the concept that I had. So I talked to Raw J, he was down with it, Steelo was down with it, Reset was down with it, Q was down with it, and we tried to set up certain little sessions or whatever to record, but for whatever the reason, it just never, it never happened. I think it was in 96, I believe it was, either 95 or 96, I actually went to my man TMS's house, and we recorded one song. It was Reset, Steelo, and myself, and then there was a spot left for Q and Raw J, and I actually still have that tape. But again, for whatever reason, we couldn't, connect, and it just kind of like, stayed right there, just lingering. But the name in itself always stayed behind my head, and it's something that I always wanted to use. So fast forward a little bit, and that's when the whole resurgence of the whole breaking scene and the whole popping scene started coming out, and that's when I connected with Cuba and Settle. And once we saw that we were serious about doing our little comeback in the dance scene, that's when I dropped that name in there along with some others, and then we decided, Deadly Venoms is the way to go, hence, to this very day. But the name has always been there as something that it meant something more than just a rap group or a popping or breakdancing group or whatever. It meant a family, you know what I'm saying? And hence why I wanted to bring those brothers from Underground Cypher along with myself, because I saw us as an extension, you know what I'm saying, as a whole unit, a family of brothers together. And I would love to work with them again, you know what I'm saying, and do something for the future, because the way that things are, I think that this generation needs an Underground Cypher comeback and a Deadly Venom comeback to kind of like enlighten the masses about real hip hop.
You done picked on a Venom, man. Take it hot.